Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by Access Learning Zone. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today is part 2 of my Power Apps video using Microsoft Access and SQL Server to build a mobile front end using Power Apps. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, what are you doing here? Go watch part 1 and then come on back. You'll find a link down below. All right, so yesterday we talked about all the theory and what you need to do and how to get here. We've got our Power App all set up. We've got our data connected, right? Our SQL Server is connected. So here's where our fields are going to go. Consider this your form, right? It's not called a form in here. In fact, if you come over here and click on this guy, it goes to tree view, right? Here's your app, and then you can see there's your host. This is called a screen, all right? This is your screen. So that's just what they call it. All right. All right, so next we're going to insert and edit form. All right, so come up here and click insert, edit form. All right, and right here it's going to go select a data source. What data source do you want to basically connect this form to? Think of it like the record source for a form in Access, right? So, of course, obviously, customer T, it's the only one we have. Click on that. All right, now it drops this form right here. Now we're going to pick the fields that we want to go in that form. Again, similar analogy to Access. Click on Fields, and then click Add Field. Now, which fields do you want in your form? And here they are. I'm going to go with Customer ID. Let's go with first name, last name is active, customer sent, so we get a date, and notes, so we get a long text field. All right, and then hit Add. Let's say those are the ones I really care about when I'm on the road. Okay, here they come. And you can see some different options here, right? Customer ID, view text. You could change it to a rating, a percentage. There's a whole bunch of options in here, right? First name is edit text, and you can see there's a bunch of other different options. Okay. There's last name is active is a toggle, right? You can do all kinds of different toggles or option buttons or whatever. Customer sense comes in as a date time. You can have either the date time where you can select it or just type it as a text value. And then notes down here, I'm going to drop this down and pick edit multi-line text, because this is a long text field. So let's go multi-line for that one. Okay. All right, now click over here. Now the one thing I don't like is that this little editing form, if you click here, you can see you click on the different fields there. And just like Access, you got to be careful what you're clicking on, like with subform controls, right? So try to find the edge boundary around that. See, sometimes it's hard to get to. There's customer sense. If you can't click on what you're looking for, come over here and click on Form 1. See that? That's the boundary of that form. It's like subform controls in Access, right? Well, it's only taking up half the screen here. So I'm going to click this and drag it down. Leave a little bit of room at the bottom because we're going to put a button down there. But now this here is the area of your form. You can scroll up and down in here if you need more space once we go into preview it. All right, we got customer ID, and we can make this take up the whole top there. There we go. All right, customer ID, first name, last name, is active, customer sense, and notes. All right, but sometimes these individual things can be hard to click on and get exactly what you want. Like in this customer ID field. Now, let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see. There we go. Let me zoom in. All right. Like in here, you got the customer ID, right? Like first name, this is a card, and a card is actually the label and the text box together. See that? Label right there and text box. So you got the card first, then the label, then the text box. And you can move these things around and resize them and do all kinds of stuff too. You could think of the card, it's called a data card. You could think of it like a little container that holds the label, the control itself, and all of the code that connects it to the underlying data. And you can drag these cards around and you can resize stuff and move things around, but we're not going to get into all that today. All right, let me put that back where it was there. It's a little different from Microsoft Access where you typically move the label and the text box independently, but the idea is the same. You're designing the layout of your form. All right, I'm going to zoom back out a little bit so we can see more of the whole thing there. Okay, it looks good. All right. Now, let's save our app. All right, click on the little save button up here. Give it a name. I'll call this my PC resale phone app. Hit save. And now once it's saved, let's click on this little button here that says preview the app. And, oh, okay, it says no item to display. Why is that? Well, unlike Microsoft Access, Power Apps doesn't automatically open the form to the first record. Instead, the form has an item property that tells it which record to display. And since we're keeping this example nice and simple, we're just going to tell the form to display the first record in the customer table. So to do that, let's close the preview. Select the form. That's that outline. Now over here where it says data source, drop this down. There's a whole bunch of properties in here. Some of them are over here too, but this is where I usually go. All right, we're going to find item and change this over here. See, this is kind of like Excel, all right, like a little function bar here. All right, in here, what item do you want to see? We're going to put in here first, open parentheses, customer T, close parentheses. Okay. See, look, it just pre-filled some data in here. It says when this guy starts, I want to see the first customer. Okay? Yeah, and in a real application, you're going to have, select records from a list, perform a search, all that stuff. But again, for today, we're keeping it simple. All right, again, okay, I was going to say click save, but sometimes it saves automatically for you, which it just did. All right, now hit preview again, and there you go. That's what your app's starting to look like. And right here, you could change, like, you can go from browser-based to different, tablet sizes. Like, I want to see what it looks like on an iPad Pro. Right, you can flip it and rotate it. You could change it to a specific phone type. Right, iPhone 11. Okay. Close this. Now, here's one of my pet peeves here. See how the customer ID is below that? Let's move this up over here. All right, so I'm going to click here. The first click gives you the card. All right, then click again. That gets you the label. Now resize that label like that, and then grab the text box, and then resize the text box like that. And then you can slide this up like so, and try to get them lined up, and you'll never get them lined up exactly. All right, and now when you preview it, it looks a little better. Customer ID is over here. All right, like the way it looks here in the preview? All right, let's close this, and let's publish it. So now we're going to click on this little guy. Hit publish. Saves it to Power Apps. All right, gives you this thing. Read the terms and conditions and all this stuff. Gives you an icon if you want. You could put put a description in here. And I'm just going to click on publish this version. And now you should see it published successful. All right, it's now available to everyone. I'm going to close that. Now, let's go take a peek at it. I'm going to open up this Power Apps in a new window. I'm going to leave this open. So what I like to do is I right-click on this and go open in a new window. So now I got a second window open up here. Okay, I'm back at my Power Apps home. Okay, come down here and click on Apps. Here's your app. Nope, right there. I hate when stuff moves around like that, right? Next to this, you'll see a little button here that says Play. Click on Play. And that will actually open up your app. Okay, now, the first time it runs, it's going to say, allow PC Resale to access your data. In other words, you want the app to be able to connect to the data source. Read and write records. Yeah, of course. Duh. And boom, there you go. And that's what it looks like in your web browser. And you can give access to other people. I'll show you how in just a second. But this screen that I showed you early in yesterday's video, this is right off my phone. This is from my phone browser. It looks just like that. See? And yeah, we got some buttons down here. We'll talk about these buttons in a bit. I should also probably note at this point, you might get the pop-up that says Start a Power Apps Trial. Right? That's because you're using the SQL Server connector, which Microsoft classifies as a premium feature. Yesterday, I mentioned that using SQL Server with Power Apps requires a premium license, which right now is about $20 a month. The good news is that if you're just evaluating Power Apps to follow along with this lesson, you can start the free trial without entering your credit card. That's exactly what I'm doing, so we can continue testing the application. If you decide to deploy the apps later on, then you'll want to purchase the appropriate Power Apps license for your users. Now, you want to give this to someone else to use, Joe in accounting, whatever, click on Share. You can either email them the link directly or copy it. All right, here's the link. You can copy it and send it to them however you want to send it to them. Now, I sent it to my phone, which I logged on with my second account. I've got 2 Microsoft accounts, and I was able to log on just fine. Once I was authenticated, it didn't ask me for any kind of billing information for that account either, so it probably is still using the same 30-day trial that this one is. But I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm guessing. All right, now, one thing you'll notice is when you've got your record in here, Microsoft Power Apps does not automatically save changes if you leave this record or close your browser or whatever. You have to actually create your own save button. So unlike Access, you got to make your own save button here, which most users, I think, are used to. Access is actually the weird one in that respect. So let's create a save button. I'm going to go back over here to my actual app. And let's come down to the bottom down here where I left some extra space. Remember, I got this empty space down here? We're going to insert a button. There's button right there. And it puts it up top. Let me zoom out so we can see it. There it is. It just drops it up top here. Let's bring it down to the bottom. Okay. It says button. We don't want it to say button. So come over here where it says display text. Let's make this save. Now, for a save button, you got to put some code in it. Oh, a little teeny tiny function. Right, so click on the save button. Come up here, make sure on select. This is the on select method, I guess we'll call it, right? Over here, it just says false. We're going to change that to submit. Whoops, get rid of that. Submit form, open parentheses, and then the name of your form, which in this case is form 1. Form 1. The IntelliSense in here is really nice. So it's on select. In other words, when you click on this button, submit form, form 1. Okay, save it, publish it again, publish this version. Okay, publish successful. Let's go back over to our web browser version. Now I'm going to hit refresh. Where's my refresh link? Refresh. All right, now you should see this, or you will most likely see this. You're using an old version of this app, refresh to get the latest version. In other words, you got to refresh the stuff that you just saved. Hit refresh. All right, you got to give permissions again. Hit allow. And there you go. Now you got your save button. Okay, so if I come in here and change Richard Ross to Rick and make myself active, and I can change the date and the time, whatever, hit save. And now my changes have been saved. And that's literally all you have to do for the save button. And here's the cool thing. If you go back to SQL Server and rerun your query, you can see there's the changes right there. Right? See, I'm now Rick. It's all connected. And if you have this connected to an Access database, you'll see it change there too. One thing to be aware of with Power Apps and mobile devices, when someone opens your app on a phone, Microsoft is going to gently encourage them to install a free Power Apps app from the App Store for the best experience, right? But that's not your only option. You'll also see a continue in browser link, which lets users sign in with their Microsoft account and run the app directly in their mobile web browser, which is what I do, because then you don't have to install anything. All right, well, next you might be looking at how do I get to the other customers? Well, you have to add your own buttons for navigating back and forth between the records, or build a whole other screen with like a list of customers, like a continuous form. There's all kinds of options. It all depends on what you want to do. And in the extended cut for the members, I'm going to show you one of those options, which is we're going to build our own little previous and next buttons right down here. And we're also going to build a success or failure message when you click that save button. Because just in case, you know, you click save and you think everything is saved, but you want to make sure, right? So we'll have it say success, or if it fails, it'll give you a failure message. And we'll be doing all that in the extended cut for the members. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos. Not just this one, all of them, and there's hundreds of them by now. And I would say that gold members normally get to download my Access databases that I build in these videos, but there isn't one today because this is just all online, so there's nothing to download. But gold members also still get access to my code vault with lots of cool stuff. Everybody gets some free training, so if you're interested in joining, click on the join button down below for more information. So there you go. That's how you build a simple little Power App. Once you've got your Access data up in SQL Server on the web, you can now connect all kinds of different things to that SQL Server. You can use it from Access. You can use it from your phone. You can use it from your website. You can use it from Excel. You can use it from your grandma's house when you're stuck there on Thanksgiving and you're on the couch and you're after dinner and everyone's like talking and you don't want to talk, so you're on your phone doing work. I do that. No, I'm just kidding. That was me when I was younger, though, but not anymore. Now I actually like hanging out and talking to people. Okay. If you guys want to see more videos on Power Apps, I need you to post a comment down below and let me know. If you want to see stuff on Dataverse, I've got more SQL Server videos coming. I'm knee deep in that course. I've got part 2 coming out very soon. I got more developer lessons coming out. I got all kinds of stuff coming out. Lots of things, lots of irons in the fire, right? But that's going to do it for your Tech Help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. Post a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about today's video. I'll see you next time. Oh, and members, I'll see you in the extended cut. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. If you're new to Microsoft Access, check out my Access Beginner Level 1 course. It's over 4 hours long and it covers all the basics like tables, queries, forms, and reports. It's a great place to start and it's also completely free. Members of my channel get extended cut videos, sample databases, access to my code vault, and full training classes every month. Click the join button for details. Thanks for watching. I'm Richard Rost with AccessLearningZone.com. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.